Time now for my hate mail of the week. And I had three really big contenders for this. One was the CBC's 6-month review of Justin Trudeau and the Liberals produced a panel, a regular panel, it's called At Issues, that was as superficial as I've ever seen. Never once did they talk, never once did they have an issue. It was all about style over substance. That was brutal. Just one I did yesterday, this proposal to have 16-year-olds vote. Really? You give me a family who said when their son or daughter got into the 11th grade, said, well, that's it, please run our finances in the house. I don't need a 16-year-old without, and I've had three, by the way, and without a whole bunch of personal experience in the world making decisions on health care for me. Thanks, though. But this one still won out. It's one on unfettered capitalism. Let me play it for you right now.
Every time I read about another subsidy for business like Bombardier or the just completed bailout of the 7th largest Italian bank or yet another pronouncement from central bankers regarding their latest manipulation of interest rates, I think of arguably the biggest lie perpetrated by advocates of ever-growing government control, and that is we're living in an era of unfettered capitalism. We've all heard it, but that becomes the rationale for more regulation and bigger bureaucracy. Media darlings like Naomi Klein, Michael Moore, Avi Lewis, Linda McQuaid have built careers by constantly bemoaning unfettered capitalism. I mean, this isn't an ideological disagreement unless stupidity's become an ideology. I mean, listen to this stat, courtesy of the former head of StatsCan, Philip Cross. The Ontario Liberal government lists over 380,000 regulations on the books. The Ontario Liberals spend $5 billion a year on various direct and indirect business subsidies and tax credits. I mean, does that sound like unfettered capitalism? No, it sounds like incompetence, quasi-socialism, or at the least state cronyism, given that 80% of the money goes to companies the Liberals asked to apply. $163 million in provincial subsidies went to the Liberal Party's biggest corporate donor. No regulation about that. There are also well over 1 million provincial regulations throughout Canada. Last year, the federal government published an inventory of 129,860 regulatory requirements, and that just covered 36 departments. Then throw in all the municipal bylaws, regulations, guiding everything from bicycles to ice cream stands. Over $40 billion is spent annually to comply with government regulations, a third of which are useless, plus billions more in tax compliance costs. And then think of the people who think that's not near enough. My name is Mike Campbell. Join me Saturday for Money Talks.
You can get the business comment every day at moneytalks.net, moneytalks.net. A lot of my friends, they say they podcast it down and they listen to 3 or 4 in a row, and I said, why? You're on a diet, you want to lose your appetite, but you can do it there anyways.